right, I'd like to call this meeting to order. If you will, please stand for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, the first item of business. Congratulations, Heather. We're again very happy to see you in this seat and retaining this seat, and we appreciate your service immensely. We do need to swear you in, so if you will please stand and raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Heather McAdams,
Hereby declare under oath
that
I will faithfully perform the duties
perform the duties
of the Board of Education
of the Board of Education
of Independent School District Number 9,
of Independent School District Number 9,
Tulsa County, Oklahoma Union Public Schools,
Oklahoma Union Public Schools,
to the best of my ability,
and
that I will faithfully discharge all of the duties pertaining to said office,
I will faithfully discharge all of the duties pertaining to said office,
and obey the Constitution
and
and laws of the United States and Oklahoma.
laws of the United States and Oklahoma.
Very good. Roll call of the board. Let the minutes reflect that Dr. McNeil was called into service, needed to cover for one of his colleagues tonight, so is unable to attend, but the remaining four are present. As for the agenda, I'm aware that we need to remove item H on the consent agenda. And then as far as the order goes, if you will allow me some flexibility on the special recognition, we'll take care of one of those in order, and the other one we may defer till a later time within the.
They're en route.
They're currently en route, so we'll defer till the time that they are here.
Yeah.
So with that as a amendment to the agenda, is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So for approval. Second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Reyes?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
The chair votes yes. The consent agenda. All of the following items, those items of a routine nature normally approved at board meetings, will be approved by one vote unless any board member desires to have a separate vote on any or all of these items. The consent agenda consists of a discussion, consideration, and action on the following items. It's items A through U with the elimination of H.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Reyes?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Under information reports, the USPA report, UCTA report, Ms. Becker.
President Kinnear, Dr. Hartzler, members of the board, we are holding our elections for building representatives later this month. A few of us will also be attending the OEA Delegate Assembly at the end of the month, and we just wanted to say that we appreciate the district for allowing us the opportunity to participate in the governance of our association.
Very good. Under special recognition, all state band, orchestra, and choir students, Mr. Pissarra.
Good evening, Dr. Hartzler, President Kinnear, members of the board. It's great to be here tonight. It's very much my honor to present to you some of Union's most engaged and accomplished students. Elite among their peers statewide in the performing arts, these students have been named to the 2022-2023 All-State Band, Orchestra, and Choir rosters. We have several of them here tonight. Not all of them can make it, but it's going to be a great time to meet some of them. And if those students could please go ahead and make their way up along the aisle here, that kind of help us move things along. The All-State audition process began about this time last year when the repertoire was announced, so the students could begin to work on the audition music. That's when it was released. Their preliminary practice happened during the summer, followed by intensive preparation in September and October. The first round of auditions took place in early November, with several thousand students statewide participating. Those who made the cut advanced to the final round of the auditions in early December, and where several hundred students were participating. That's a whole new set of music they had to learn in a very short amount of time. So they had about 6 months to learn their first set of music and only a month to learn their second set of advanced music, and that's what they used to audition on. The work of those selected to the all-state ensembles culminated in a special clinic and concert in mid-January as part of the annual State Music Educators Convention. I want to say a special thank you to the parents who are here tonight for your support of your child in so many ways, providing them a quality instrument and private lessons, transportation to here and there and everywhere they need to be for band, and certainly and for orchestra and choir, all the extra things that go into being a part of one of our fine performing arts ensembles here. And of course, for your copious love, encouragement, and support of your child. I also want to point out before we introduce the students to you that several of the students here tonight were also part of our state championship drumline that won their classification just 2 days ago. So we'll be seeing more about that here in the next few days on a press release. But you can tell these kids are not only involved at individual level in the band, but they do the extra ensembles as well. So it's a very exciting night to celebrate that among all of you, since it's such big and new news. So students, when you come, if you'll please introduce yourself by your name, your grade classification, which elementary school you attended at Union, if so, which instrument you play, and then at the end, after all the students have introduced themselves, Dr. Hartzler, if you wouldn't mind, we'll have a picture here in the middle. That we would love to do that, like we always do. Okay, you be first.
I'm Caleb Barrows. I'm a senior. I play percussion, and I went to Cedar Ridge Elementary.
I should also note that Caleb is a 3-year All-Stater, which is the most that you can earn in the All-State process. So he's earned all 3 years. That's a huge accomplishment.
My name is Grant Myers. I'm a senior. I went to Cedar Ridge Elementary, and I play the saxophone.
My name is Gabriel McLean. I'm a junior. I went to Anderson Elementary, and I play the trumpet.
My name is Owen Grass. I'm a sophomore. I went to Moore Elementary, and I play the French horn.
We did have 5 other students named to the All-State roster this year, and of course wish they could all be here tonight, but they're probably doing something else in performing arts tonight as well.
So do they know where they're going, what the plans are for the seniors yet? Can you release that yet, or is it embargoed?
Pending decision.
Pending decision. I get that, I understand. Got it all?
Congratulations. I will hop in and say that, yes, Caleb's is pending decision, but he is applied to 3 very serious music schools and waiting to make a decision after we hear back from the third one. These are all upper echelon music programs around the country. And then Grant is going to be going to OSU next year to major in music education. So we'll have another band director coming out of the union ranks here in a few years.
Very good. With your permission and indulgence, we'll come back to the next one a bit later. Hearings and correspondence. Anything under communications? Opportunity for comments from the audience regarding the agenda. Anyone signed up to speak? Business agenda, under instruction. Consider and take action on the purchase of a 2-year license for Union Virtual from Florida Virtual School in the amount of $204,490 from bond funds, and authorize the Executive Director of Instructional Technology, Gart Morris, to execute the contract. Ms. Calvin?
Yes, thank you. I am not Gart Morris. Good evening, Mr. Kinnear, Dr. Hartzler, board members. Mr. Morris is at a conference this
Okay.
week,
All
so.
right.
I am asking for your approval to purchase the 2-year license from Florida Virtual Schools in the amount of $204,490 to be purchased from bond funds. This program supports our Florida virtual courses with 100 seat licenses for semester-long courses and 1,000 enrollment licenses for year-long courses. This is our blended learning model at the high school, and this is a purchase we have made since 2012.
Move for approval?
Second.
Mr. Reyes?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes as well.
Thank you.
Consider and take action on the contract renewal with Lightstream for district-wide area network connections in the amount of $357,646.08 from general/building funds before applicable discounts.
Yes,
Mr. Yoshida.
President Kinnear Board, Dr. Hartzler, presenting this for Todd Borland, who happens to be with Mr. Morris, so keep your questions very simple. Right? But no, as Todd explained this to me, this is just our annual renewal for our wide area network. Initially, there were some discussions that there was not a requirement for the E-rate, but for us to go ahead and get our E-rate application completed as is required, asking that you approve this. There is an addition to 2 buildings on it. It is the Freshman Academy tennis facility. We want to pull the tennis facility off of the Freshman Academy, so it doesn't rely on that building. And also Grove, which is attached to the 6th, 7th grade, anticipating with some of the work that's going to be happening there that we want to make sure that those 2 networks are separated. So asking for your approval for this.
Questions, comments, discussion?
Move for approval? Second?
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Reyes?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
The chair votes yes.
Thank you.
Under Personnel, consider and take action on an increased PO number 223-00161 to ESS South Central LLC in the amount of $315,000 from general funds for substitute coverage services, and authorize the Executive Director of Human Resources to authorize payments. Mr. Lover.
Thank you, President Kinnear, members of the board. We are here asking for an increase in our PO. ESS has been a great benefit to our district. We've been averaging over 91% class coverage, which I know for teachers that has helped greatly, not having to find out, oh, I have to cover a class or pick up additional students. It has really helped. I know in the morale of feeling that they get their break time and they get their planned period and not have to worry about that. And so that's been a really positive thing for us, so we've been very happy. ESS has also been able to cover some aid absences in some high need areas, which has really helped us as well. So they've been able to provide this, and so we're excited that while it's a little additional money now, the total cost is probably about $100,000 more than last year for our total expenses, but at the same time, we have covered a lot more classes than we have in the past. So we're very excited about that.
What was our average coverage?
Their coverage rate before was right around 70%. So they have increased it greatly and have really done that. And that was even with their help in that previous year, just assisting us. But with them taking it over, they've done a really good job. And we've been very, very grateful. And a number of other districts in the area have watched at what we've done with them and are looking to them possibly as well for the future.
Second.
Just a quick question, comment again, very happy to endorse this, but the increase? You said more services because we need more teachers. What's leading to the increase?
Overall, the number of absences are a little bit higher, and then they've filled at a higher rate than we expected. So therefore, we've had more coverage than we expected to pay for, which is all a good thing.
So our initial contract would have been for a certain amount of expected, and this,
Yes,
and
we did a
now we're adjusting it to
Right,
meet-
we did a projection and we were low,
Yeah.
but at the same time with their coverage levels, it's been wonderful, so.
Very good. So I heard a motion, did I have a second as well? Okay, Ms. McAdams,
Yes.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Ms. Romerman. The chair votes yes as well. Under school operations, consider and take action on additional blanket purchase orders for additional purchases of food from the Child Nutrition Fund. Mr. Boucher.
Yes, asking for approval for these additional purchases. It's really just a restocking process as we get ready for the rest of the year. We also are learning one of our suppliers, and I hate to say their name because I don't know how much public it is, but we're starting to see those folks cease serving schools, and so we're continue to run into some food issues. So asking that you approve this so we can make it through at least the next month.
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Reyes,
Yes.
Ms. McAdams.
Yes.
Ms. Romerman. Chair votes yes.
Thank you.
Consider and take action to accept the bid for the partial re-roofing of the high school project and award the contract to Atwell Roofing in the amount of $1,313,490 from bond funds. Mr. Isaacs.
Yes, President Kinnear, Dr. Hartzler, members of the board, good evening. This is another one of our roofing projects. It involves about 20% of the high school roof, which is probably an older section on the north side of the high school behind the UCA. It's a total removal and replacement, so we're going to take off the old roof and the insulation that was there and replace with new insulation and new roof. So when we're done, the roof comes with a 20-year warranty, which means we don't have to, worry about leaks or any sort of problem that we may have with the roof. We have the roofing manufacturer that will dispatch the roofing company to do any of that if it exists. But there's been a lot of damage on the roof up there just from the sun. You get a lot of ultraviolet damage and a wind scour and just normal wear and tear and weather. So it's time to do another section of the high school roof, and that's what this project is. So with your permission tonight, we would proceed.
Have we used Atwell before?
Yes, ma'am, we have. Yep. We had 5 bidders. We had 5 roofing companies that were interested. 3 actually bid the project, so it was nice to get 3.
Move for approval.
Second.
Ms. Romerman.
Yes.
Mr. Reyes.
Yes.
Ms. McAdams.
Yes.
The chair votes yes.
Thank you.
Consider and take action to accept the bid for the flooring replacement and interior improvements at Jarman Elementary project and award the contract to Ascend Commercial Builders, Inc. in the amount of $1,117,000 from bond funds. Dr. Robbins.
Yeah, Mr. Kinnear, Dr. Hartzler, members of the board, this project will take care of a lot of the aesthetic improvements of Jarman Elementary. Last year, we did a lot of mechanical improvements to the interior of Jarman. This will include new cabinetry throughout, new flooring throughout. It'll also be a reworking of the main office to improve the secured entry, and it also includes exterior paint as well. With your approval, we'll move forward.
It's the same question that Ms. McAdams asked. We used these folks before.
We have not used Ascend before. This will be the first project we will have worked with Ascend Commercial before.
Local company.
Yes, indeed. Local company. We had, I think, 4 responsive bidders for this project, and we're very pleased with the number they came back with.
Very good.
Are you adding like an additional vestibule? What are you going to do right there?
So at Jarman, in comparison to Darnaby, Peters, McCall, those same floor plans, if you'll recall, their front lobby and reception area is right at that front entry,
Right.
whereas at Jarman, it's well back into the building, so it's a smaller office complex. So we're going to recapture that space and put the reception and security entry right at the vestibule, like those other schools.
Move for approval. Second.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Mr. Reyes?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Thank you.
Consider and take action to accept the bid for the flooring replacement project at multiple sites, rebid and award the contract to T&S Taylor Enterprises in the amount of $600,000 from bond funds.
Yeah, so this project is a partial reflooring. For the most part, it is restroom reflooring and refinish. So at Rosa Parks Elementary, we'll be doing all of the restrooms throughout the facility. And then at Rosa, if you've been over there, there are some issues with moisture coming through the VCT, the tile in the commons area. So we're going to put down a product that can mitigate that a little bit better. Jefferson Elementary is those same restrooms. And then the office is also wearing quicker than the rest of the building, so we'll be replacing the office flooring at Jefferson. At Bovers Elementary, they have small en-suites at each of the classrooms, so we'll be redoing the flooring and walls of those en-suite restrooms. And then at Alt Ed, kind of similar to Rosa Parks, there's some moisture issues and some control joint issues that's deteriorating the tile in the commons areas of the alternative school. And we'll go back with an LVT product that will hopefully mitigate some of those issues. So it's 4 different sites.
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Reyes?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. One more item here. Consider and take action to accept the bid for the job order contract, JOC, for multiple minor renovations and small capital improvement projects throughout the district, and award the contract to 357 Inc., doing business as Rico Construction, with the individual project fees not to exceed $100,000 from various funds.
Yeah, so this project, this is really a new strategy for the district. It's a strategy that's used by municipalities and other large districts around the country, but really it's a way to get more representation in our bids for smaller projects. We get very good representation on our sealed large projects, but when we have little things like we need to build a wall or we need to recarpet 1 or 2 rooms, it's difficult to get responsive bidders. I think a lot of contractors just don't feel like it's worth their time. So this strategy takes what's called the means guide. It's basically a large book that gives unit pricing for the region that you're in for all manner of different construction types, sheetrock, carpeting, electrical, and it provides a market value for the unit price adjusted for the area that you're in. And what we did is we put that out for bid for contractors to provide a multiplier. So basically, whatever the means guide says, that's our price times the multiplier that these bidders bid. And Rico Construction was the low bid with a multiplier of 1.15. So basically a 15% markup on the Tulsa market value for the unit pricing. And again, this is not any specific work, it's potential work. So there's no projects associated with this. If we do get a quote back from them that's in excess of $100,000, we would then put it out for the more formal bidding process.
Thank you. So on that point, are we approving multiple potential projects, each one not to exceed $100,000, or is the aggregate of all projects?
I think at this
100,000?
time, we don't, the aggregate. However, if any one thing did come back, we would then put that out. Again, this is still, this isn't a blank check to Rico Construction. We still need to be very mindful of our district dollars and our bond dollars. So as we get a quote back from them, we still can negotiate with them if we're going to proceed or not. So site needs a new wall to make a smaller office. They give us the quote quickly. we then decide if it's worth the expense to do it or not.
Sure. Any other comments, questions?
Move for approval. Second?
Ms. McAdams?
Yes.
Mr. Reyes?
Yes.
Ms. Romerman?
Yes.
Chair votes yes.
Thank you all.
I'm going to go back to the special recognition at this time for the girls wrestling team.
Thank you. President Kinnear, Dr. Hartzlers, and members of the board, we thank you for moving us towards the end. These girls got to go to the Capitol today, so they've been carrying this trophy around quite a bit today, so we appreciate you letting us come. I'm going to go over a few things. I know I'm going to miss some of them because of all the accolades that they've had, but if you guys will remember, these are the 2022 state champions as well as the 2023 state champions. They finished the season ranked number 15 in the nation by USA Wrestling. They won the state championship by a half of a point, 63.5 to Edmond North and Bixby, 63. We have senior Chanel Alberg, if you can wait. Oh, she's got a trophy in her hand. Was a state champion and is signing with Texas Women's University on Wednesday at our signing day. We have Callie Hayden is a junior, and she's a state champion. Oh, Kaylee, I'm sorry, Kaylee. I know better. Terrelyn Banner, a freshman, third place at state. Is she here? Not here today. Skylar Tran, a freshman, qualified for state. We have Elise Newsom is signing with Carl Albert University on Wednesday as well. Our union cleaned house with the Oklahoma Wrestling Coaches Association. We had the NWCA Girls Coach of the Year and Gerald Harris. The NWCA Girls Assistant Staff of the Year, the entire staff. One, it was from Union Public Schools. The Girls Assistant Coach of the Year, Nikki Harris. Girls Junior High Coach of the Year, Greg Evans. We also had the OCA Region 7 Coach of the Year, Gerald Harris. He was also selected to represent our entire region as a representative on their board of directors on the Oklahoma Coaches Association Board of Directors for the next 2 years. And then our the Central Oklahoma Wrestling Officials Association Coach of the Year was Gerald Harris as well.
Yeah, it's the part where I get in trouble. How y'all doing? I'm just kidding. No, I really just came to say thank you. We've been through a lot in the past 2 years. I'll give you a quick history. Union's always had the talent, and when we got here, they had 5 girls, 2021 to end the season, and they were all tough. Chanel Alberg, you guys, is a lifer. She's been here since kindergarten, and she basically started the girls program, so I want to give her a round of applause. And she was 44. She had 44 wins this year, 2 losses, and 42 wins by pin. So, Chanel Alberg is ranked, Kaylee Hayden is ranked number 3 in the country. And I couldn't do any of this without my wife in the back. She has on gym clothes because she had to change and go run the gym. We run the gym. But seriously, that's my better half. And she never wrestled, which is crazy, but I told her she wanted to learn how to coach the beginners. And she did, and she's been amazing. So she got Coach of the Year, so I'm proud of her as well. So, but I'll be quick. I don't know how much time I got. I know you guys bumped us up. I'm just super happy to be here. But 5 girls before I got here, and in that year we got up to 70-something girls by going around talking to the schools with the support of our staff, Miss Barkley and Mr. Dunlap. And then we pretty much kept steady since then, around 70 or so girls. People quit towards the end, but it's just been amazing. And like she said, a half a point. And our motto last year was everything counts, and it literally counted this year. So everything they did counted. and we got a state title. And the motto next year is trust the process, because they don't believe me when I say stuff. I do want to thank you all for two more things before we go. And I know everybody talks about money. You guys gave us, and you guys don't know, when we got here, we kind of had a wrestling room. We shared it with the boys, junior high, and we did the cheer room. We won a state title in the cheer room. So we were rolling out mats, did what we had to do. And this year, you guys gave us a brand new building. Absolutely amazing. 2 mats, we split with the boys, new locker rooms. We have more stipends. Our stipends were whatever we had when we got here, we shared with the boys. We have 4 stipends now, close to probably the highest staff pay in the state. So I appreciate everything you guys are doing. And I mean, it ain't hurt to pay us a little more, you know what I'm saying? But find it in your heart, you know. But no, all right, let me go before I don't come back next year like I do every year. But seriously, thank you all from the bottom of my hearts. And these are my girls. This is my family. So that's all.
We're going to do the same thing and ask them if you went to Union at an elementary here, will you stay for your car? Yeah.
Well, who's got the camera?
I did, but
Who's got the camera?
Scott. Did you go to Union?
I went to
So
Grove Elementary. So I moved around a lot. I went to Briar Glen for a year. Then I went to Rosa Parks from 1st grade to 3rd grade. Then Peters from 4th grade to 5th grade. Awesome. Then the 6th, 7th grade center. And then the 8th grade center.
So she said you just like that work race.
Anybody else like?
Okay, come here, Kevin. You want to get it?
This is fantastic.
Come on, Dylan.
By the
Dylan,
way,
come on.
on top of all these wrestlers, we have 8 children. So she didn't push them all out. Y'all looked at her all funny. We got to squeeze them in. I looked at her like, they're tough.
Anybody get let's do a little take, okay? Sorry, I'm gonna get composed.
Yeah, we'll smile.
Oh. Aren't they little?
Thank you.
All right, I believe we are near the end. Opportunity for comments from the audience and board members. Anybody signed up? Dr. Hartzler or board members, any comments?
I'll only say I hope everyone's happy with the fact that we're not going to have to come back a day after Memorial Day. And so thank you to everybody. There's a reason why we have those few extra minutes in our calendar, is so that we can take the advantage of using those when we have to. And so we barely, I'm talking about barely, had enough minutes. So I think that was the best thing to do. I've heard that from our students and even some parents. So they said thank you for making that happen. So at any rate, tomorrow morning we are going to take the opportunity to recognize all of our National Merit scholars, as well as our Quest Bridge recipients as well at our board meeting. We're going to do that a little different, mainly from the standpoint is that when we try to do this with the students each year, they're very busy folks, probably studying and preparing for their AP exams. And so we're going to do a little different thing, and that is tomorrow we will have them come over here for just a short period of time in the morning to recognize them. And so the board, I would invite you, if you can make it. I know some of you have obviously very busy lives too, but normally we do this at the board meeting, but we're going to try something a little different so that the students and the parents we can have more students is what we're after here, to be able to recognize them. And it gives all of our administrators, especially at the elementary level, an opportunity to recognize and also hear from them as well. So how we can get better at what we do. So.
Any other comments? Heather, fourth term or fifth term?
Fourth.
Fourth, still unprecedented. Very grateful for all you do for the district.
Thank you.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes carry. We're adjourned.